Earth, the ancient ancestral homeworld of the human race. It is the 38th millennium before the Great Collapse. A bright red object known as the Ether streaks across the sky, exuding psychic warp-fueled energy from its tail. This anomalous cosmic event would change the human species forever. The descendants of those in the immediate radius of the Ether comet would become afflicted by it, and splinter off and evolve into a new strain of humanity known as the Bestowed. The Bestowed humans were gifted with powerful, unnatural, and unique psychic traits. Each Bestowed would be accompanied by an Ether spirit, the essence of long-dead species and beings that lend their traits to their vessels through psychic abilities and physical powers. The more powerful the spirit, the more powerful its vessel. However, when utilizing the psychic attributes of the Ether spirit, Bestowed humans risk immense pain, and in many cases, certain death. Coming to terms with this new phase of evolution, the human race on Earth descended into a series of protracted interspecies civil wars known as the Purity Wars, with natural humanity seeing the bestowed Ether as an abomination, and the bestowed humans thinking themselves the superior form of the species. Both factions fought themselves into a bitter war of attrition. Through relentless research, the natural humans had discovered a ritual to remove Ether spirits from humans afflicted by its power. In an effort to preserve their so-called gifts, the high nobility of bestowed humans declared a mass exodus from Earth. In search of a new home, billions of bestowed humans intent on keeping their Ether spirits descended on a far distant planet known as Terra Prime. It was here where the bestowed peoples would pursue the purest form of the true human being. It was here where Agrax Earthshade would be born. Son to a fallen high noble knight on the Round Table, Agrax was born into Terran Ether royalty. His uncle, Reichland Fleshshade, would guide him in the martial and academic ways of the bestowed human being. Agrax mastered his Ether spirit and rose through the academy at an unprecedented speed to attain the rank of commander at the age of 16. From the day he was born, it was clear to the Knights of the Round Table that Agrax had a special Ether spirit. At first, he was admired and respected amongst his peers, but as the flashes of Virtuous's power shone itself through Agrax, the bestowed citizens of Terra Prime began to grow frightened and wary of his potential. Through a sequence of unrivaled conquests and successes, Agrax's abilities earned him the title of Knight on the Round Table, one of the 9 knights forming the royal government of Terra Prime. He had by then been married to the cunning Averland Sunset and fathered a daughter named Druki Violet. Druki was born with an intensely treacherous spirit much like her father. Agrax and Averland watched helplessly as day after day Druki was twisted by her vengeful spirit vying for control. Wanting an end to her daughter's suffering, Averland, Agrax's wife, while Agrax was on campaign, had secretly conducted the risky forbidden ritual of breaking Druki's tainted spirit from her body. Despite the ritual being astronomically risky, be it by the hands of the gods, Druki had awoken from the operation alive and unscathed. Averland sought to smuggle Druki off Terran Prime to start a new life. But a dark messenger had informed the knights of this incident. This so-called depurification of a bestowed human was seen as blasphemy and would not be tolerated. When Agrax returned from his campaign, he arrived at his domus to find the message left for him by the Round Table. The message was clear. In attempting to subdue Agrax, the Knights of the Round Table had inadvertently awoken his Ether spirit. Emanating raw power and rage, Agrax would go on the world-ending rampage known as the Terror of Terra. In a one-man flash siege of the High Keep, 8 Knights of the Round, their acolytes, their spirits, and their nobles were slaughtered by Agrax alone. After this draining act of vengeance, Agrax's ether spirit reached its zenith and burnt out. It was there when the Architects claimed him, as he collapsed. Now knowing the extent of his true power, the Architects would reform Agrax into the fifth member of the Holy Six. The untapped psychic acuity of Agrax on and off the battlefield has earned him the championship. He will be the embodiment of the new cosmic empire and bear its standard. The Architects offer him a path for his ever-growing power and pain. Reign supreme, Agrax Earthshade, the Night Slayer, champion of the Holy Six.